Hey guys, I just want to do a reminder at the beginning of this video that we are still doing the bamboo giveaway. Um, I know I'm a new channel, but everyone that subscribes and comments entry will be entered into the giveaway, which will be held on February 21st. We'll be awarding the winner. And yeah, have your chance to get a $40 gift card, get some filament, get some parts, whatever. Yeah. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Printology channel. Thank you so much for watching. And today we're going to do a video on why your 3D prints don't work. And let's just get right into it. And the first thing we're going to talk about is setting magnets. And I use magnets in a bunch of my prints. If you want to check out some of my prints, you can check out my Maker World Thingiverse printables in the description below. But let's just get right into it. Let's say you have a 20 by 20 millimeter magnet. And let's drop the ruler to make it a little bit easier. And you want to put that magnet in a 40 by 40 by 20 box, and you want it to be pressed to fit. You don't want it to be loose or anything like that. So you take your 20 by 20 magnet and you make it into a hole. Duplicate that for ease later, and you drop it into your shape and you group them, and you export your STL and you go print it. And then once you print it, it doesn't fit. This is one of the easiest things to fix always. All you're going to do, and you might want to play around with this, maybe do a couple tests first. For my printer, doing 0.25 works every time. So all you're going to do is take whatever size magnet you have and increase it by 0.25 on all sides. So 20.25, but do 20 by 20 and then 0.25, and then make that your hole instead. Undo this, delete that, align it with the align tool, or just press L, and then group those with Control G, and that will fit. That will be a perfect push to fit every time. One of the super simple things that you might not think about at first, and will save you a lot of reprinting in the future. Another thing you can do that I like to do when I'm making models, if you're not sure on a concept, you're doing something you've never done before, maybe it's never been made before, so you're not really sure. Let's just take, what's something we can do? Let's take a box, make it a little bit bigger, square. Let's duplicate it. Now let's say you are making, let's do something like this. Duplicate, side, make it a hole, merge it with this. If you ever want to align something and have one of the objects not move, if you highlight on both, push your line, if you hover over it, you can see how there's a secondary align tool grayed out. Just click on that object when you see that pop up, and then it will let you align your tool on this so this square doesn't move. But let's just say, for no reason, you wanted to print this and have these two shapes sit into each other, and you just don't know if it'll work. Take your product or your print and change its layer height to 1 millimeter, and then you can test fit with this and not have to worry about wasting all that filament on a project that didn't end up working. Now the next thing we'll get into is threads. I have had my epic fails with threads, as I'm sure everyone has. I would refrain from ever scaling this yourself unless you have to. Always use the parameters inside of here. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. Now let's make this a little bit bigger for our eyes and make them have a little bit more segments. I would go all out on the segments and make everything smooth. Just makes it easier. Rotations, we'll do 10. Maybe we'll do 20. And then we will probably increase our pitch to 3. change our segments to 20. Alrighty, and now we have this thread. And let's say we duplicate this. And we want to basically have it thread into here. And if you do this and put that in the center and group that, and you'll go to your printer and you think to yourself, man, I can't wait to print this. I can't wait to have threads. This is going to be awesome. It's not going to work. Every time it won't work. What you need to do is on your thread, let's unhold that so we can look. You want to pay attention to how thick this edge for this is. What you're going to do is duplicate this as your hole and do this and do that, and that's going to be completely fine. The piece that is actually going to be your bolt or your screw or whatever, you want to come over to the thread scale, and let's reduce that to 0.75, and we want to pay attention. Oop, let me put that back to 1 so you can see what's happening. You want to pay attention to the thickness of this, of the thread tip. As we change this, actually, you'd probably be fine just doing 0.8. This should, yep. And so this creates a little bit of wiggle room to fit in between those threads. Otherwise, it's going to be the same size and it's not going to work. That's all you need to do for threads. All you need to do is remember to only use these parameters when adjusting sizes, unless you're maxing out the sizes. And then on the actual piece that's going to be printed with threads, with the male threads, reduce the thread scale. And now you might need to mess with this as well. Don't be afraid if you've never done this before. Just print something simple like this, a cube with threads, and then print 3 different sizes. Do 0.9, 0.8, and 0.75 and see which one you think has the best tolerance and stick with that one, and just keep a mental note of that thread scale in your head. Everything that has to do with prints failing is always tolerance. And there's many different things, whether or not you're making sliding lids or anything like that. And it's always, a good rule of thumb is always just do 0.2 as your tolerance. So if you've got your shape that's 10 millimeters, then you need to make your tolerance be 0.2 to accommodate for that margin of error your 3D printer makes when it's printing. I hope this helps you guys making your 3D prints. Let me know if you guys have any Tinkercad specific questions. I've been using it for a couple years now, and there'll be a lot more videos to come. Thank you.